Swapna ji, go ahead.
Namaste. I had a question. You said abhavat, but here it is abhavat. What is correct? Vat or vat?
1 second. Oh, spelling mistake. Abhavat.
Vat.
Abhavat. Panchami.
Okay.
Abhavat word is not there. I don't think there is a word called abhavat. Bhavat is there, not bhavat. Bhavat, that is how you get bhavan, etc. Right? Bhavan, bhavati comes from bhavat. So this must be abhavat. So good point for everybody that 1, 2, 3, 4th line on the page number 18. The last word should be abhavat. Bhavat.
Dupasana he has given properly.
Which one?
Dupasana he has given properly. Dupasana yoga site he has given properly.
Is good. Okay. And here in this Gita Press is also fine. The mistake is not there.
One point and get the paramrishyate. It is not available.
The word is not there here, huh? The word itself is not there in the notebook.
Which word are you talking?
The entire line moves to the next page, the last line.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is next page.
It's in the next
After
page.
the mantra.
What is samhritya, Guruji?
Samhritya, remembering, keeping in mind. Buddhau samhritya. Buddhau, in the mind. Manasi samhritya. Samsthapya. Keeping the future and what's coming in mind. The Upanishad is saying.
Dhanyavada.
Do that. Yeah, Hemaji.
Yes, Guruji. Actually, that previous thing is said, until I do what the mantra says. In Tamil, they say, Etu Surakai Karikudavadu. Etu Surakai Karikudavadu. If you write Surakai and you have a picture of it, that will not help you to make the dish. You have to actually make it. That is one thing I wanted to say. And then Vishinashti, you will be explaining in the next class. What is the etymology? I mean, I didn't get the word. Vishinashti.
What is your question again, Hemaji?
Vishinashti.
Yeah.
You will be explaining in the next class. I didn't get the etymology of the word. What the word is? Vishinashti.
Yeah, Vipurvaka Shish. Vipurvaka Shish.
Vipurvaka? Vipurvaka? Nisha.
Shish. Shish. S-H-I-S-H. S-H-I-S-H.
Oh, Vipurvaka Shish. And then what lakara it is? I didn't get.
It is, no, it is lat only. It is lat. So it is, it must be third gana or something.
Okay, I'll look it up. I mean, it didn't, at the end of the so I will look it up. Thank you. Of course, Yatta Dadreshyam and all, I think you'll be explaining in the next class because it's coming in the next slide.
So it is Shish is Visheshane, 7th gana. 7th gana. 7th, Saptamaha gana.
What is the root?
Okay. Root Shish, I told you. Shish is the root.
No. Adreshyam. Next one.
I'll come to that later. Okay, that's
okay. That's what I said. Okay, this I will look up, Guruji. Now you've given me some hint. I will look up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Guruji.
Guruji, Ashtagni and Ahitagni are the same?
Yeah, Ashtagni kadiyadu. Agni Adhanam, when a person does Agni Adhanam, that person is called an Ahita Agni. That person is called an Ahita Agni. Ahitaha Agnihi. Yes. Okay. or a smart saha. That is the title of the person. Like Grahastaha is a title of a person, like that Ahitagni is a title.
Inviting that
Jaykumarji,
pradhanam, receiving it.
Okay. Ahitaha, Agni, one who has received that Agni from the Vivaha.
அது ஏன சகாவா என்ன ஆஹிதா அக்னி ஏன சகாவா
Yeah, yeah, Yena should be there, correct.
பகுவிரகி
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jaykumarji, that yaya can be here yattat. Earlier mantra yaya, by which, yaya tadaksharam adigamyate.
Correct.
Here it can be yattat. What he means?
No, he's referring to Yattat. Yattat
Yeah.
is coming in the next mantra.
Yeah,
He's only quoting that mantra. He's only quoting the mantra. But yaya in the previous sentence, in that mantra, yaya tadaksharam adigamyate, it refers to paravidya. Yaya paravidyaya.
okay.
Yaya. That's why Strilingam is there. Strilingam. Yattad, etc. is napumsakam. That is referring to Aksharam, Brahma. So it's going to refer to that. So no, even though Aksharam and Paravidya are related, Akshara Vidya is Paravidya. But Yaya refers to Paravidya because there Dvevidya, Veditavya was said, no? Paravidya, Paravidya. Paravidya was listed. Tatra Para. Then what does he say? Then he says what? He says Atha Para. Atha Para. Atha Para Yaya. Atha Paravidya Yaya Paraya Vidyaya. Or Paravidyaya. That's how it works. Better to connect it like that. Okay. All right. Maheshji, go ahead.
Namaste, Jaykumarji. The last sentence we studied, the Vakshamanam Buddha Samhritya Siddha. What is it? Can you explain to me once more, please?
Right. The question is, how can you use a pronoun without actually talking about the noun? Because yet, tat, and all that are pronouns. There are pronouns. And no, a technical objection could be raised by the Purva Pakshi. And so Shankara is saying, hey, don't be so picky. Vakshamanam buddhau samritya. Vakshamana means what is going to be told. It's called Vakshamana. Going to be told. Just wait. We are in the process. Just wait. And then going to be told. And buddhau samhritya, keeping that which is going to be told in mind. Buddhau samhritya. As though it is now known to you, as though Brahman is known to us. Siddhavat, accomplished. Siddhavat. Siddhavat means what? As though accomplished. Siddhavat is accomplished. Then paramrishyate. Paramrishyate. So referred to. Referred to. And referred to by the pronoun. Yat and tat. What is going to Brahman is going to be explained later, but that is being referred to paramrishyate by the words yat and tat. The technical.
Okay.
So that shows how this shows the tradition, right? This reveals a lot to us about Brahma Vidya itself, the knowledge that we are after itself, correct? because that Brahma Vidya is so important. That distinction between Atma and Anatma is so subtle and important that now this Brahma Vidya has to be protected. How do you protect Brahma Vidya? By a tradition. Like peanuts are protected by a shell, this tradition is the shell. And how do you protect it? We can't be casual about words now. So grammar becomes important. And so all these technical objections will be there because people are not going to follow this. Brahma Vidya is not, it is actually very easy, but it is difficult because Paranchikani, all my whole outlook is just इसका मतलब क्या है? What can I get out of things? This kind of outlook I have. So therefore, Brahma Vidya becomes difficult. And so these technicalities become important. Not for the student per se, not for the student, but for the teacher it's important, for the tradition it is very important. If we didn't read some of the sentences, it doesn't mean we are not going to follow what the Upanishad wants us to follow. But now that we have come to Bhaashyam, you don't have to study Bhaashyam. Once when I told Swamiji, I'm teaching Katabhashyam. Like that I told Shankaranandaji. He said, did you teach? No. Okay, you finished teaching Kata Moolam. Kata Moolam is Kata Mantras. Without the Bhaashyam, did you teach? He said. I said, no, Swamiji. Shankaranandaji on the phone. Like that he said. Means what? That is not the norm.
No,
That is not the norm. That's not the norm. In an ashram, see, in an ashram, we do it differently. We do Bhaashyam. We don't teach Moolam. But outside the ashram, when people are coming, and you're not quote unquote selecting people just register and come. And so then do you really want to do Moolam? Secondly, for a teacher, beginning teacher, I'm a very young, I'm a bacha here in the scheme of things. They're all giants out there. Okay. And so that's not heard of. Okay. Like that he said. Then what to do? I said, Swamiji, I just felt like I can't do it. And I want to do it also. And I just came fresh out of reviewing Kathopanishad the second time. And so that energy is there. Good, Jai Kumar, like that he said.
Adbhutam.
So, huh?
Adbhutam.
Adbhutam. And then, so that tradition is important for the people who are teaching it and are living with it on a daily basis. For others, it's not that important. It's not important. Without Bhaashyam, we can study the Upanishad. And the main message is, if the teacher is good, the message will be conveyed. No problem at all. But once you decided I'm going to get into Bhaashyam, then we have to get into all details.
So what is the downside of, teaching like what we are learning now or what we are doing? Why that Moolam has to be taught first and then Bhaashyam?
It is for the benefit of the teacher also. The new teacher. Teaching a Bhaashyam is not easy. I struggled a lot when I taught the Bhaashyam initially. You may not have noticed it, but I noticed it very well. I struggled because I had to remember we were breaking sentences, putting numbers and all that.
Yeah.
But he called me later and said, that's a very good idea, Jaikumar. Can I follow? I want to follow your technique. And she started following, my classmate. But today we don't do all that. Today we don't do. Because now I am better at not only me knowing what I want to teach, but also communicating to you carefully without rushing. That I thought I've become a little better. So we don't do all. That is why they say don't get into Bhaashyam unless you're really good at it. It will only be confusing. Teacher will be confused, student will be confused. It will be a big mess.
Yeah, but we are learning somebody's Bhaashyam. We are not doing extempore or something. So we are following someone else's Bhaashyam, correct? So it is not like teachers interpret. We are following what is already stated. To me, I thought this is a better way to learn than Because I don't know, when you teach only Mula Mantra, so you will give only the gist of the meaning of the mantra. Is that the way it is done?
Not just we will explain things without mentioning the Bhaashyam.
Yeah, because the Bhaashyam contains a lot of them. See, 3 4 lines of mantra, then 3 pages of Bhaashyam is there.
Yeah. So when we teach Moolam, the way it works is, I can give a gist of the mantra,
Uh-huh.
or I can talk about everything that we would have studied if we had studied the Bhaashyam. So from here to here, I have a big spectrum, and I can go wherever I want. I can stop wherever I want. I can ignore telling you certain things. Like, for example, I don't have to tell you Siddhavat. This, how can you use a pronoun before a noun? I don't have to tell you.
Yeah,
In Moolam, you won't tell
exactly.
you. It's,
Or,
just a,
or Shankara so far has given every sloka 2 or 3 meanings. You may not say that.
correct. You are correct.
But individually, like for example, the next mantra, there are so many words, right? Adbudam, Vibhum. You can individually explain those words, and that way you complete the Moola mantra. Is that the way it is done?
Exactly. Like Bhagavad Gita. Every word is explained. Every he and the tu and acha is explained in Bhagavad Gita. So Moolam words, the minute it is uttered, it has to be explained.
Yeah, but you were also referring to the Shankara Bhaashyam. Even though we didn't have a book like this.
We did not study Shankara Bhaashyam in the Bhagavad Gita.
But
I refer to it periodically.
yeah,
that's what I
at
said.
some critical places.
Moolam, that's what I'm saying. Moolam is one extreme, giving a gist. Within 3 minutes, I can tell you what the mantra, the Bhagavad Gita shloka says. Within 5 minutes, we can finish it off and move on to the next mantra. Or I can go all the way Bhaashyam. We're all studying Shankara Bhaashyam and read the Bhaashyam and everything we can do. In between these two, there is a nice spectrum. So I can choose to invoke some Bhaashyam words to aid in my explanation. Or I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
So it's an option. It depends on the teacher, Mahesh. Depends on the teacher.
Or maybe it is the time also.
Time means, what do you mean?
Like, okay, you have a 2 weeks, 3 weeks course for this or something like that, or a month, for example, and or maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Because if it is several hours a day, maybe you want to finish everything. Probably that's all you can do.
So exactly. So, for example, Swamiji is conducting a camp, 1 month camp, okay, in Sailorsburg, I think. So, Bhaashyam of the 15th chapter.
Yeah.
Gita Bhaashyam. That is the main thing. That means what? There will be 3 classes a day. 3 classes a day, Bhagavad Gita classes a day, and 1 month. And we can finish the 15th chapter with Bhaashyam also.
Yeah, because here the Tejomayananda Swami said, Tejomayananda was here for 5 years ago. He did the Kathopanishad in about 3 weeks or 4 weeks, finished everything. But he didn't go any further than just the mantra and that too gist only. Not even every word or anything. That's it.
That is also fine. And the teachers have the right.
And every day, I think it's 1.5 hour class or something in the evening, and that's about it.
Correct. 3 weeks every day for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Good. So that is the way of teaching.
Is taught only in the ashramas.
That's the way of teaching. And in the Ashtavidya Parampara, generally we don't do that. It is not wrong to do that. It is perfectly acceptable. If somebody has come to study Kathopanishad for 3 weeks, means that is the only way you can do. In fact, you can't go word by word.
Yeah.
You can't go because three vallis and then 2 adhyayas, 3 vallis. So it's 120 shlokas, which means what? Which means 3 weeks is how many days? 21 days, 120 mantras.
Yeah, I'm saying so. It's not perfect. Yeah.
Correct. So 6 mantras have to be done in an hour. Which means Bhaashyam is ruled out. Word by word meaning, I don't know. Ruled out.
No. I attended some of those classes. his lectures. Not every one of them, because it was clashing with our class
Okay.
also. We were learning Bhagavad Gita at that time. And so I didn't, but I did attend some of them on the days we didn't have class. He was just explaining the meaning and maybe a little bit more, some upakatha and all that to drive home the point. That's about it.
He's a great storyteller.
Which one?
And it is also without satsang, Jagmaji. That is another thing. Nobody asks any questions and all, because the class is over, that's it. There is no time to ask question, clear doubt, none of those.
Maybe that setup is like that, where you invite people for an hour and then keep moving on, you know.
I mean, he has done several of them the last maybe 10, 15 years, like that. What is that? There are some other Gita also he did like that. Classes, and then even one of the Vivek Chudamani also he did. What we are learning like 108, he did that too.
Yeah, so that's also a good way to teach. It's a good way to teach, because you have to see different ways of teaching and different audiences also.
Right.
Based on
We
that,
get an understanding of that, what is the message, but we can't get into the grammar or all those things. That and all is not there. Not even little bit details, very summary.
now some acharyas will not get into grammar.
Yeah,
You know why?
maybe the audience is not, I mean, you
Okay.
lose the attention of audience. One could
All
be.
right, that's a good reason. That's one reason. Any other reasons?
Lack of time.
Teacher
Okay, thirdly.
himself may not know Sanskrit.
It's only Shabdartha, it's
Yeah.
not Shabda
No, I don't want
Jnana.
to say Guruji, I mean, I don't want to say the teacher doesn't know, but
No, I'm saying even in our parampara also, our parampara is very unique. Okay, but once you leave this Asha parampara, then there is no guarantee that the teacher is going to spend time on grammar and all.
yeah.
And we have proof for this. The proof is all the other sannyasis and other ashrams are listening to Swami Paramarthanandaji and Dayanandaji. We have all these cassettes and MP3 is there. They're sitting and listening to them. So our parampara is very unique, Mahesh. So it's all right to say that. So that Vyakaranam is like that. It's like that, and many people don't know. They'll know the gist of the mantras and all. They will know how to. I'm not talking about this Swamiji or anything. I'm talking about generally. There are Swamis who know the gist very well, but they can't get into grammar, karmani, and yak and all that. They won't know all these things. No chance. No chance at all. So therefore, we should not assume that they're all experts in grammar.
Yeah,
They are
may not be, but I think the primary reason is you get into that in a crowd like Chinmaya Mission.
Right.
You'll exponentially lose attendance. So
yeah, that's not a forum at all. That's not a forum for all this. Yeah.
So it's not.
Good. Thank you, Mahesh ji.
Thank you.
Yeah, Hari ji, go ahead.
Hari Om Guru.
Hari Om.
Guruji, a teacher, a guru who knows the Bhaashyam so thoroughly, will he feel satisfied by teaching his Shishyas without Bhaashyam and without going, only touching superficially? Would he feel himself that he has done his service?
Your question is, if a person knows the grammar and all the details,
Yeah, a guru.
and if that person if that person, the guru, teaches a text without the Bhaashyam or without grammar and whatever, without the,
Yeah,
what will the person feel satisfied, you're asking?
yeah. Whether he feels that yes, I have done my service, I have done my duty.
See, I'll tell you my feeling. Others' feelings, let them speak to that.
Yeah,
Bhagavad Gita I taught, correct? Without the Bhaashyam, only we studied Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Everything I taught was consistent with what Shankara says and what
yeah,
Swami says, which Pujya Swamiji, Dayananda ji says, Paramarthananda ji says, okay, and
yeah,
Paravidyananda ji. It's all consistent. In our parampara, the consistency you can see very well.
yeah,
And but still, that is not Bhashyam. That is not like what we are doing right now in this class. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But for me, it is very important because this is the first time I am teaching Bhagavad Gita itself. For me as a teacher.
yeah,
And unless you teach Bhagavad Gita, you can't say I taught Bhagavad Gita and all. And we put in a lot of time and effort on that. All of you put in
yeah.
effort. I also put in a lot of effort. And so this was useful for me. Correct? It was useful for me. It was definitely useful for me. And now we did not do Bhashyam. Okay, Bhagavad Gita, Bhashyam is another thing. Bhagavad Gita itself is a monster.
Yeah,
It means 720 shloka is a huge text it is.
yeah, yeah,
And then you got Bhashyam. So it goes on and
yeah,
on. It goes on and
yeah,
on. It's a separate project altogether.
yeah,
And so it will take years to do all these things. And
yeah.
it's joyful. But I felt very good in what I did because it
Yeah.
gave me another chance to review the whole text. And for my
Okay.
own understanding and clarity, it was useful. And so, by
Yeah.
no means, yeah. So, anybody, whatever the teacher does, it will be satisfying to the teacher.
Okay.
It will be satisfying. What the tradition says is the teacher should know the Bhashyam.
Okay.
In our
Okay.
tradition, whichever sannyasi you take, whichever
Yeah.
acharya, like Shankara or me or Ramachandran or Lalita, anybody you take, or Praveen Bhatt,
Yeah.
anybody you take,
Yeah.
whether they teach without the Bhashyam or with Bhashyam, they must have studied the Bhashyam. They
Okay.
must have referred to the Bhashyam before teaching. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
that's our view.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Hariji.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very good. Okay, thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva Mantarye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha